Hey guys, thought I'd just give you a quick update on the end of day number 15. So it's been around 15 days since we started this project. So today we didn't get a huge amount done, if I'm being completely honest. However, a few little things that were done is starting to make this project feel closer to completion than before. Now, one of the main things which was done today by the builder was some of the tiles that leads from the kitchen into the living room has started to go down, which is absolutely amazing. Where's Abby? There's Abby. Where's Mummy? There's Mummy. Where's Nai? Nana's at work.
Work.
Yeah, she's at work.
School.
We've also replaced the fridge, put it back to where it's supposed to be in the kitchen. Now, while I do like the color of the fridge, I'm actually considering painting it to match the color of the cupboards. Perhaps I'll do a little experiment on one side that won't be seen to see how it actually looks. And if it looks nice, then we'll probably try and paint the entire fridge. I've never actually tried painting the fridge before, but it seems to be quite popular online, so might be something we do in the near future. But for now, at least it's back in where it's supposed to be. I'm so grateful that it actually fit. Now, in the next few days, one of the tasks that I'm going to be doing is actually sanding these walls down. Now, they're not the straightest or the most flattest walls I've seen. If you just rub your hands along it, you can feel all the little bumps as you move along, which kind of shows the age of the property as well as how, you know, it was plastered back in the day. Even though it looks like it's been freshly plastered, all we've done is just given it a light skim, which took out some of the imperfections that were there. So what I'm going to do is just to sand this down as well as the wall on the other side with a really fine grit sandpaper, probably like something like 140 or 160. Get it as smooth as I can, and then I'm going to whitewash it with some paint. Now, I'm planning to use just some generic white, brilliant white paint, add a bit of water to it to make it nice and runny, and this is to help it to seep into the plaster, to seal it so that when we come to put in our actual color on it, hopefully, you know, it will stick and look a lot better. This is something that is very common when it comes to painting onto freshly plastered or skimmed walls, and it's actually quite essential that you do so. So I won't be doing that tonight. However, what I will be doing is trying to remove some wallpaper from inside the living room. I've got a new toy which I borrowed from the builder, which is hopefully going to allow me to be able to remove this wallpaper a lot easier than the technique that I used on these walls. And it's a wallpaper removing machine which uses hot water and steam to sort of soak through the wallpaper, and hopefully we can then get it off a lot quicker. So this container is basically just filled with water. Once you've connected it all up, you just switch it on and you just give it some time, and you'll hear it start to bubble like a kettle, and before long you'll have some steam coming out of this bit, which is what you'll be putting on the wall to try and loosen the wallpaper. So I mentioned that I got this wallpaper remover from my builder, and I was so impressed with how well it worked. Now, before I started using it, the first thing that I had to do was remove all of the fixtures and fittings that were going to be in the way of the wallpaper. Now, I also read online somewhere that a good way to remove the wallpaper even quicker is to use a Stanley knife to make scores in the wallpaper. Obviously not too deep that it will penetrate the plaster, but just deep enough so that the steam will be able to get into the creases and remove the wallpaper even quicker. Now honestly guys, if you are looking to remove wallpaper, one of these machines is a must. Whether you have to rent it or straight up buy one, you definitely need to get one of these, especially if you're doing multiple walls like I was. Now here you can see me just doing a section of the wall by the fireplace which leads into the kitchen, and this literally took me around 5 minutes to do with the wallpaper steamer. All I had to do was hold it against the wall for a few seconds and let the hot steam do the job. Then I simply removed it and switching between my fingers and the scraper, removed all of the old wallpaper, which was an absolute breeze. Now as you can imagine, there were several different layers of wallpaper there, and I was able to get a real history tour of what this room looked like years ago. Now within 5 minutes, the wallpaper on this section was removed and I was so impressed. More importantly, I was impressed to see that the walls were still in very good condition and I wouldn't have to replaster them. All I had to do was simply choose a color paint before sanding down these walls and get to painting. Okay, so it's the end of another work week. The builder's gone home a bit early today. The house is in a mess, but we've been making good progress. Today, the only thing that he was able to do, because he left early, was most of the tiling in the living room. Honestly, seeing the tiles now, you know, is really cool to see what they look like. I think we really made a good choice. So next week when he comes back, come Monday, it'll be half term for us, so I'll be home, and you know, hopefully we'll be finishing off the tiling in the rest of the house before, you know, throughout the rest of the week moving to tiling the walls. So I've spent most of today trying to fix this thing here, which is the cooker hood, trying to do a makeshift connection between the hood and the hole in the wall, which you can see just up there behind that plywood. And I must say, it's not the best looking thing in the world, but honestly it's the best of what I can manage anyway, so it will have to do. Once I've painted everything, I might paint that silver ducting a different color, maybe try and match it with a couple handles. I'm not sure yet. That box up there will be painted white however, so yeah, that's just something else for me to do at a later stage. Okay guys, so here you can see me actually measuring up the hood which goes above the extractor fan. Now, in order to save money, Sophia and I decided that I was going to have to try and figure out some way of making this all work together without cutting a hole and getting into the ceiling in order to run the ducting outward. Now this was very difficult, but I managed to rig something together, and in my humble opinion it actually looks okay. It may not look the most premium, but it is definitely functional, and this was a great way for me to use the existing hole that was already there in order to save ourselves money. So we've now put in an order for the door just behind me. We're just going for a standard UPVC one, one that won't break the bank, and that should come within 2 to 3 weeks, and then our builder Peter hopefully will fit that for us. Rather than having it swing inwards, we're going to have it swinging outwards, so I'm really looking forward to that, because as I'm standing here on such a windy day, I can actually feel the wind draft coming through the hinges, so I'll be really happy once this door's gone. That's going to be it for another video. The last thing I'll show you before I go is the tiling in the living room, which is currently drying, and it's been a really productive week, so well deserved rest or not this weekend. We'll see how it goes.